Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast. Get out the confetti. Get out the noisemakers. Yes, get out the party hats, the cakes. It is episode 50, my friends.
Woo! Wow! Yay! Woo! Ah! Wow! Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some sound effects in there. I should have probably done that. Well, awesome for us. Congratulations, BJ Odom, and congratulations, Bill Stevens, for 50 episodes of BJ and Bill the podcast. Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk that it would have lasted?
It would never last.
No, they said it would never last. And here we are, still alive and kicking, as the song goes.
Well,
so
don't forget to go, give us a 5-star review if you would. Much appreciated. Give us a review, write up all the good things you think about BJ and Bill. Go to, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. We'll sit here and beg. We're not, we're not petty. We will.
We will? Oh, okay.
Or does that mean we are petty? I don't know.
Please. Yeah, well, it might. Yeah. So anyway, but amazing. 50 episodes. Amazing. I mean, we haven't been quite doing it for a year, but it's because we had a couple of them stashed up in advance and all that. But it's coming up on a year really fast. Do you have the date of when we actually started recording?
We started at the end of a month, like the very last day of the month.
Oh, okay.
We posted our first podcast, or at least that's
either
when
the end of August or the end of September. Yeah, either the end of August or the end of September. That's for sure. So good for us. Cool. So this would be the time where you would say something like, well, we could probably wait for a year on that. Like what we've discovered, lessons learned, best moments, all-time great jokes or something crazy like that. But I don't know.
It'd be awesome to do, though.
So we'll see. What's that?
But I have none. But it would be awesome to do, like sometimes they do the best of.
Right.
It would be neat to do the best of, but not the podcast. If we had somehow had capsuled, when we were together doing the BJ and Bill show on WOLZ, to do a whole podcast of the best of and have it from our radio days. Now that would be cool.
Radio days. That would be cool. I have, and I think I sent it to you years ago, but when your son was in the radio business with us, he put together a great promo of BJ and Bill's morning show. It's only about a minute or two long, but it has some of the clips, and I still have that somewhere. I'll have to find that. I'll find that for the 1-year anniversary. See what if I can dig that out. I'm not even sure how I would play it here. Well, I could play it right on here. It'll record. So anyway, I have that. So we'll see what else we can find.
Yeah, that'd be cool. By the way, I know today will be the day, whenever you have like an air conditioning person coming or the TV cable person coming or any of those places, they give you a window. And normally it is at the end of the window and sometimes even maybe an hour or two after the window. And they go, we're on our way. Yes. We're a little behind.
Yes.
We're on our way. Well, my window began just as we were beginning to record this podcast at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. And my window is from 10 to 2. This will be the day they actually get here within the first hour of their window.
Of course.
It'll be the first time in history.
Most of the time, like you said, when they give you a window, the window is like, 2023. That's the window, this year sometime. So, but you're right. And now the good news here in Gainesville, Florida, is they also today or yesterday, Monday is normally mowing day. And like you mentioned, we are recording this on a Tuesday. And so they were mowing this morning because of the rain yesterday, I guess. But thankfully that is done. So it's quiet here in Gainesville. We'll see how quiet it lasts there at the Odom household. So is your AC working? Because you don't look like you're sweating as I see you on the Zoom call.
It's working. Here. The only problem is is like our bedroom is usually, it's kind of like, between here and Fort Myers, there's about a 5-degree difference. So if you go to the front of the house, it's about 5 degrees cooler than the back of the house.
Wow, really?
And so they said they came out already one time.
Right.
And that window, they were actually an hour and a half, 2 hours late. But they said they were, running behind time. If it was still, if we were still available for them to come, they would come. And we said, yeah, we're still here.
Sure.
We're still waiting.
Right.
So they're going to come today. I guess it takes a special person to do what they need to do. They're going to balance our air conditioning. But you would think when you buy a new house, that would probably be done at construction.
You would hope so that it works right out of the box, so to speak.
So I don't think we're going to be charged for this. I know we weren't charged for the initial
okay, cool.
time they came out.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see what happens today, but they're going to balance our air conditioning.
I wonder how that works. That probably just means that probably just means closing a vent somewhere and opening another vent somewhere so that more air flows to the back of the house than to the front of the house. But now you've heard everything I know about air conditioning, and so that's you'll tell us next week.
And I probably won't, because they'll just come in. I'll say, okay, go do it. And I will sit there and
right. There won't be any life-changing new information.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
In there, you're right. So there you go.
So I'm going to bring this up because that's what I do. So Bill had a special guest for a couple of days come to Gainesville and visit.
Yes, I did.
How was your visit?
Wonderful. Fabulous.
Yes. I'm living vicariously through you and your dating. So.
Oh, you are? Okay. Good to know. Then
just to let you know, I'm sitting here going, I'm salivating, going, okay.
Just thinking about it.
What was going on this weekend? What did you do?
Well, trust me when I tell you had a really good weekend. Actually, we were talking before the recording started that I actually worked Saturday, which I tell you, I'm this close, and I'm holding two fingers together like a millimeter apart. I'm that close to quitting the pizza job because it's just, I'm on my third new manager, and scheduling is a nightmare, and I'm working way too much, and I'm an old guy. I just want to work 20 hours a week or something and take it easy. Anyway, that's not answering BJ's question, and that's not giving him the information he wants. So
yeah, I don't care about your little pizza job. I don't salivate about that. Well, I salivate maybe about you bringing me a pizza, but not you delivering pizzas.
I can do that, but the weekend was wonderful, fabulous, terrific, etc.
Would I maybe had a cigarette at any time going,
yes, you would have. So it's funny. It's actually more hilarious than because that actually came up in conversation and neither of us smokes. So there you go. But at one point, somebody said, boy, if I was a smoker, I'd need a cigarette right now. So, yes, there was that. But no, it was just a wonderful weekend. We had a great time. Yours truly did his magic on the grill, made a couple of steaks. We went to the state park.
About something else. I did my magic and we smoked a cigarette.
Okay, you could think those thoughts if you'd like. So yes, and then we went out for a little, road trip yesterday. We went over to one of the state parks with the springs, and we dipped our toes at Fanning Springs State Park, which is just totally gorgeous, and the water is like cold, but when it's 100 degrees outside and you put your feet into the 72-degree spring water, it feels like it's ice water. So anyway, there was that. We did that. We
but it
came
had to
home. We
feel
watched
good.
a movie. Yeah.
Because when you put your toe in the pool water now, it's like putting your toe in a hot tub.
It is. It really is. And we were going to do my apartment pool at some point over the weekend, but rain on and off and thunder here and there, so we didn't do that. But I did walk to the pool Saturday night after my pizza driving shift to pick up, because the mailboxes are near the pool, and I put my hand in the pool, and it's like, wow, this is exactly like you said. It's like a hot tub. The pool is like a hot tub. So good news, bad news, whatever. So anyway, but and I was also, I was just telling you, because of driving arrangements, that I ended up, and she just lives near St. Augustine, so it's just about an hour drive. It's not bad. So I picked her up on Sunday morning, and we came back here Sunday, stayed until last night, and then I drove her back and turned around and came back home after that. So anyway, to answer your questions and your salivations or your whatever, it was a wonderful, fabulous weekend, and we're looking forward to doing it again soon.
Now, what my next question, I guess, would be, since you took her home.
Yes.
Which I know there is one nearby, because you said, she lives near St. Augustine?
Yes.
Does she live near the newest Buc-ee's there in St. Augustine?
Well, depends on what you mean by near, but yes, we've driven by it, because a couple of weekends ago I went over there and we drove up to Jacksonville to go to one of the beaches or something like that, and we drove right by it, and I made all the oohs and ahs, and she said, and I quote, I've never been to a Buc-ee's, and I went, oh my God, and of course you have to have the whole thing. So yeah, we're pretty close to the Buc-ee's there. Yeah.
Oh man, I'll go with you next. I don't know what it was this weekend. I was craving a sandwich from Buc-ee's. Their brisket sandwich.
Really?
I was craving it. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like getting in a car and running to Daytona Beach just to get a sandwich.
That's a long way to go for a $5 or a $10 sandwich. I don't know how much they are, but that's a long way to go for a $10 sandwich when you could have gone, don't you? I mean, how many barbecue places do you have in your neighborhood? If you're like my neighborhood, I could walk to a barbecue place from where I'm sitting right now.
We've got quite a few, and we because we love barbecue.
Oh yeah, sure.
So we've been to quite a few of the barbecue, places here in town. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, there's no one, even the barbecue place that we love here near our house cannot make a brisket sandwich like the ones at Buc-ee's.
Really?
I don't know what it is about that sandwich.
Yeah.
But now we are getting ready to go on a little outing here in September, if I'm healthy. And we're going to go up to Indiana. And I know we'll be driving by at least 3 or 4 Buc-ee's on the way there and on the way back.
Really? Well, I know there's one in Georgia, in Warner Robins, Georgia, because I passed that one on the way up to visit our old friend, Miss Vicky, up in Blue Ridge. So that one has been visited a couple of times. Absolutely. But so I didn't know that. Are they bigger up in the Midwest than they are here? Or I thought they were a
they
Southern
have
thing.
them actually, as you stated, in Georgia. They've
Right.
got a few in Georgia. Now, the last time we went up there, but we're not going to go that route this time, because we made like about a month vacation out of it. We went up to the Panhandle first. We saw one of my wife's friends, and then we went to Fort Walton Beach, which was beautiful. And then we kind of went up, through Alabama, got into, so I think, and then we came a different route on the way back. And I think altogether we passed like 4 or 5 Buc-ee's, and I know we stopped at 2 or 3 of them.
Wow. Who knew?
So
that's good. That's good.
Now my friend, or I should say my wife's friend, has moved, and now they live in Calhoun, Georgia. And I know there's a Buc-ee's not too far from Calhoun. It's probably.
Do I need to go to the website and look them up? I'm sorry. I'm just going to do it whether you want me to or not. I'm going to the website. So we'll keep chalking here.
I think we'll go by 2 or 3 by the time we get to Indiana.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And then
That's
maybe
great.
on the way home, we might stop by for a night or two in the mountains. I'm thinking in the back of my head.
Right.
And if we do, I don't know if I even want to attempt it, but they said that new Buc-ee's there by Pigeon Forge on Highway
Right.
20 is just
Right.
a zoo. And because I know people who live in Sevierville, and they say you don't even want to try to go there.
Really, just wall to wall. And I mean, Buc-ee's is so big. I mean, it's basically a Walmart with 100 gas pumps out front. And so even that you're saying is crowded, because it would be hard to like make it wouldn't be hard to make a Walmart crowded, but I mean, I understand what you're saying. So yeah, I'm on their locations page. Unfortunately, it's like they're all by there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in Alabama. There's only the 2 listed in Florida right now. It's St. Augustine and Daytona. But as we have talked about before, there's one coming soon to the Ocala area, which will be amazing, right down the road from me. And then it just lists 2 in Georgia at Calhoun and at Warner Robins. So yeah, you're right. And then 2 also in Tennessee, one at Crossville and one, like you said, at Sevierville. So yeah, we're kind of on that. We're all over that. So yeah, so anyway, back to this whole brisket sandwich thing. Do you think, or do you know, do they actually smoke their meats, their brisket right there at that store, at that thing, or do they just import it by the ton and then warm it up or something?
They actually cook it there. They actually smoke it there.
Do they? Okay, because that's important. That's important.
Now, I don't have my phone in front of me because my wife now has my phone. So I hope none of my girlfriends call, but she has my phone.
Right.
Because, when the air conditioning people call, they're supposed to call 15 or 20 minutes before they get here. Right. So I didn't want the phone here sitting in front of me and then, hello, yeah, we're doing a podcast, but yeah, we're here. Right. Okay, bye.
Right.
So she has my phone. So if it rings, she will be the one that answers the call and say, yes, we are here.
Good.
So, but I actually posted this weekend that I'm craving a Buc-ee's sandwich, and someone actually got back to me and said that he knows the person that had been the consultant for their smoking of the meat at Buc-ee's.
Why am I not surprised that there's a meat smoking consultant somewhere?
Yeah, so he's like the mastermind behind their smoking of their brisket and everything else.
Grill master. Yeah. So how hard would it be to get that guy on our show? Ooh.
I don't know. Maybe I should. Actually, the guy that told me that, Rowdy Yates, which is actually, he does a syndicated country music oldies show on Saturday nights.
Cool.
And so I was kind of surprised that he follows me on my page and actually made a comment. I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool."
That is pretty cool. You didn't know him before that? He just reached out?
I mean, he's worked at stations that I've worked at. Now, there's another guy who does an oldies show on country radio, Big Steve Kelly, which I actually had the opportunity to work for in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
He was my program director there, and we've kept in contact ever since. And he tried to hire me 2 other times. One was in Alabama, and I just wasn't in the mood to go to Mississippi. He tried to hire me in Mississippi, and I don't know. I wasn't big on going to Mississippi. And then he tried to hire me one time in Orlando, but he wanted to hire me, but the general manager had other plans, and they already had made kind of what because it was a new station coming on the air.
Right.
And the new general manager that was hired kind of had people in mind.
Of course.
That he wanted to hire.
Of course.
My old program director in Orlando wanted to bring me on board, and I was all excited about it. But he said, "Man, I really wanted to bring you on, but my general manager had other plans for the morning show." Yeah. But okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
That's funny because you mentioned Big Steve Kelly. I worked with a guy named Steve. It wasn't the same guy, but I worked with a Steve Kelly in Fort Myers, in fact, many, many years ago. I think he's since passed. But anyway, cool. the guy reached out to you. Maybe we can get a hold of the Buc-ee. Well, we could probably just get somebody from the Buc-ee's PR department or something. I'm sure they have somebody who would be happy to talk to a podcast as hugely successful and wide-reaching as this one. Or something like that.
Let me ask you this, too, because I have another little story here.
Sure.
And I just how long have you and your lady friend been seeing one another?
Seeing as in, like, because of course you chat online and you talk on the phone, but are you saying, when you say seeing each other, you mean from the very start?
Yes.
Not all that long. Maybe what's this, August already? Maybe 3-4 months. Yeah,
how many successful dates would you say you've been on?
All of them. Oh, you mean with her or in total?
No,
with everybody.
Huh?
With her. Wait, let me think. Because we were just talking about that. We were just talking about that last night. 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
4 or 5 dates?
4 or 5 dates. Yeah.
Well, you need about another 4 or 5 dates.
4.
It says that you need to go on 9 successful dates.
9.
Or you're ready to commit.
Really? 9 dates before you're ready to commit. And who said that? And tell me more.
Doesn't really say who. And then it says the average adult must go on 9 successful dates with a prospective partner before committing.
Right.
And while a quarter of those surveyed believed they have experienced love at first sight. But they say, they think, 10.
I don't believe in love I do not believe in love at first sight. I mean, that's lust. That's not love. That's lust. So I get that, but 9 before you can decide to be committed to that.
Are you ready to commit into this relationship?
Sounds like a lot. I would say yes. And I would say that because, well, we've had that discussion too, because we both, anybody who's still quote unquote dating, it even just makes you, grimace when you hear that word at our age. And I hate saying at our age, but here we are at our age. So yes, if you want to call it dating. Have we talked about commitment? Yes, we have. And yes, we have both very much been through the dating ringer. You don't get to be this many years. It's not like we're 20 or 25 years old anymore and we're figuring out what we want and what we like and what we don't like. Again, at this age, you know what you like and you know what you don't want and you know what's acceptable and you know what's not acceptable, and you're not willing to put up with the BS just because somebody has a pretty smile or they make a lot of money or they drive a fancy car or whatever that you might have been willing to put up with in the past. So that's my long explanation way of saying, yeah, we've had these talks and we are finding we're finding that we are compatible on a lot of levels. So we haven't found one we're not yet. Well, I don't know that. I can't, we haven't talked about everything. But what we've talked about, we're in agreement on. We're together on a lot of things. We have wonderful times together, great times together. So yeah, we're talking. Now, what does that commitment thing mean? Well, that we're not. I don't think either one of us is looking to get married again at our age. But an exclusive, committed, together relationship, absolutely, yes. We're talking that. We're talking that talk now. So I'll let you know how it goes.
I was just, it was funny that I just came across that this weekend. And then I go, 9 days. Man, I wonder how long Bill's been dating this woman.
Bill's been at it. Yeah, not that many. But again, I'm not saying it was love at first sight because it wasn't, but it was a good connection right off the bat. And that connection has only continued to grow. I don't know how what do you call that? Spiritual, energetic, emotional, whatever word you want to use there. It's been terrific. Awesome. Wonderful. Yeah.
Now, have you had that talk yet about if you want to have children together?
Yeah, Thankfully, again, here I go with at our age, that's thankfully not an issue. So yeah. Besides, yours truly couldn't have children if he wanted to. I think I got fixed when I was like 25 years old or whatever. So
well, I've always had my wife tell me, you can always undo that.
I've heard that, but I don't know that. And
what if you got to set in one of those little buckets or whatever if you undo it, like you do when you do it? The little ring you got to set in?
What?
You never sat in one of those? It's like a little circle like pillow that you set in for the first 2 or 3 days. You didn't have to set in a pillow?
Oh, you mean when I had it done?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if you have to set in that pillow if you have it redone. I mean, reconnected. I
can't imagine. Well, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, they just, do we have to get into the details here, BG Odom? Come on. Now you're creeping me out. Now you're creeping me out. You're grossing me out. Yes, I know. I had things stapled or clipped or whatever. So yes, they could probably go in, unclip it, put the tube. I mean, you of all people are the world champion at having tubes put back together in your body.
Put a stit in that?
Yeah, could you? You of all people would know about having new plumbing installed. So I have no desire to have new plumbing installed.
Well, who was it?
Thank you very much.
Months ago, one of those movie stars is like about 84 or something like that. 94. He just had a baby.
Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro just had a child, and he's like, yes, mid-80s. Seriously, dude? Seriously? When they graduate from high school, you're going to be over 100.
Yeah, but the girl that it was the baby mama, she was probably just out of high school too. So it's
probably
really make it
probably. Yeah. So when you're a movie star, you got options that BJ and Bill do not have.
Oh yeah, we don't have those.
We don't got options like that. Now, I think I've been extremely lucky in and blessed and all those things in finding the person that I found. And I just want to keep going, see what happens, see how it goes and all that. So yeah,
does she know what you want to do when you're 90?
What's that?
Does she know what you want to do when you're 100?
100 years. I said, I'm yours truly. I'm going to continue to take good care of myself. I am going to be having sex and playing pickleball when I'm 100, not at the same time.
Oh, why not do it at the same time? At that age, you'll be needing to do it two at a time.
Maybe so. Maybe so. So yeah, she's heard that story. I've told that joke before. Yes. So all good so far. All good. What
joke? I thought you were serious.
I am serious.
Then it's
sex
not a
and
joke.
Pickleball when I'm 100. I'm serious. No, it wasn't a joke. Well, she's heard the line. She's heard the joke. She's heard the. I don't care. I'm gonna live to be 100. Doggone it! And I'm not gonna be like drooling on myself like Mitch McConnell. I am going to be alive and well and active at 100.
I'm
and
like
Nancy
68
Pelosi.
and I'm already drooling on myself.
What's that?
I'm 68 and I'm already drooling on myself.
Especially with them Buc-ee's brisket sandwiches. Dun. Call back.
I want one so bad.
Okay.
I got about another month.
Do they ship them?
I doubt it.
Can you order it? They'll send it to you?
I will tell you this though. One time we had we bought 2 and I warmed it up later and it was still pretty good. It wasn't like fresh when you get it, but it was still pretty daggone good.
Nothing is ever as good as it's never as good as the first time. Take that any way you'd like.
Now, I'm not a big brisket lover either. I mean, I'm not a big lover, but that sandwich, and I'm not my wife, but my daughter had been to a Buc-ee's and heard me talk about the barbecue brisket sandwich, and she was not that impressed.
Now this is brisket, so this is sliced, not like pulled pork, because I'm a pulled pork fanatic. I love pulled
I think
pork.
they chop it, so I think it's chopped brisket.
Okay.
I don't know.
And they do it all in the store. You're saying it's all like right there, fresh, ready to rock.
Yeah.
Well,
yep.
Well, okay. We got to do some research on this. Obviously, this requires a deep dive into Buc-ee's brisket sandwiches, and then maybe we buy one from a local.
It's my favorite sandwich in the world.
Favorite sandwich in the world. Maybe we find another, a couple of other, a couple of other barbecue places. Like there's a Sonny's on every corner in Florida. You could get. Do they make a brisket? What I'm saying is do like a taste test. Get a couple of other brisket sandwiches and line them up and have BJ taste them and see what he thinks.
Now there's a called Four Corners Barbecue. They're in Orlando. They're in Winter Garden. We were actually at the Winter Garden location a few weeks ago.
Right.
Oh, Four Rivers. I'm sorry. I'm being corrected from the other room.
Oh, I didn't even hear the correction. So I didn't even hear the correction shouted at you. So good for her. Good for her.
Oh. You know what? She's always got to correct the man.
Well, that's because you're wrong so often.
Always correcting me. I don't know if I want to have children with her again or not. I think we're done with children.
A little late for that, BJ Odom. Yeah, you're already working on great-grandchildren. Come on.
That's true.
All right. Four Rivers. Back to the barbecue.
Four Rivers. Did I say it right that time, dear? Yeah, something like that. Four Rivers. I had their barbecue brisket sandwich.
Right.
Was not even close to a Buc-ee's.
Really?
And I've tried the brisket sandwich also at what's the place we go to in Claremont, dear? Oh, now she's not listening when I ask her a question.
Oh, now she's not listening. Oh dear. So is this Four Rivers?
Oh, that's because she doesn't know. It's Oak Smoke Steakhouse or something like that, or Smokehouse.
This is Four Rivers Smokehouse
or barbecue.
Well, and what town are you in? Where is yours?
It was in Winter Garden.
Winter Garden. Four Rivers. So it's Four Rivers Smokehouse. It's on 1047 South Dillard Street, Winter Garden. The reason I mentioned that, I'm back. I was looking on their website. The reason I mentioned that is because I have a Four Rivers Smokehouse here in Gainesville. Ooh.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it's
now you're telling me it's good, but not Buc-ee's, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not even close to Buc-ee's, but there are other, I've had other things there in the past. So it's a good barbecue restaurant.
Okay.
Just like Oak Smokehouse or whatever, which is in Claremont. It also has the ribs are to die for. They're baby back ribs.
Yeah.
But their brisket sandwich, again, doesn't compare to Buc-ee's.
Gotcha.
I think Buc-ee's is more.
So I have a Four Rivers here in town, and it's close to me too. It's pretty close. It's up by my main shopping center, up by my Walmart up there. So now I have one that's not a chain place. It's a local place called Top Hog. Gotta love that Top Hog. And I've heard wonderful things about it from my neighbors and stuff, but I haven't been there either. So now apparently I'm on a mission now to find a good brisket sandwich or pulled pork. I'm more of a pulled pork guy, I got to tell you. But now, either way, I'm good with it.
Four Rivers has really good pulled pork sandwiches.
Awesome. Okay. Maybe. But I still think I would still like to try to get a representative of Buc-ee's in it, because we've only talked about them. This is 50 shows. We probably talked about them on 30 shows, so we should probably at least have them in. Okay, cool. All right. Unbelievable. We've already covered half the show, and more than half. We're well into it. So we're moving right along.
Well, when I'm on vacation, I'm going to be gone for at least 2 or 3 weeks. So I'll need to do, a podcast on the road with you.
Okay.
Maybe somehow we can time it out where I can do my podcast.
Oh, I hear where this is going. I
can do it. I can do it from the parking lot of Buc-ee's. Although my wife was like, "Can we leave now?" I go, "No, the show's not over yet, dear."
This is real radio now. We need to do. We're live on location. All right, we will figure that out and figure out all of this barbecue mess and more when we come back. So stand by. We will be right back.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Welcome back. We hope you found something to eat in the break, like pulled pork or a brisket sandwich. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast, coming to you live and direct. And if you would love to, we would love for you to leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts from. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, doesn't matter. We appreciate it no matter what. If you'd like to chat in person, surf on over to our Facebook page. Just do a search for BJ and Bill Podcast. Remember, you have to spell out the and, BJ and Bill Podcast, which is also our email, bjandbill@gmail.com. There you go. So in the break, I was looking at menus for my local barbecue joints to find out where I might be enjoying lunch and or dinner today. And both of the barbecue places we were talking about, the local one called Top Hog here in Gainesville and Four Rivers Smokehouse, which is kind of a Florida chain, both have very lovely looking menus, I must say. So might be something there today. Don't know.
Actually, I don't normally like to talk about my daughter's wedding.
Oh, change of subject. Watch out, folks. We made a hard right turn there.
But that was also the caterers for my daughter's wedding.
Oh! I thought we were changing topics completely, but no, you're saying that Four Rivers did the catering for your daughter's wedding.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Good.
They had like little sandwiches, I guess you'd call them sliders. And
yeah,
give
me about 8 of those, please. Yeah.
It was a nice little spread. Cost Dad quite a bit of money. Moving on.
Cost Dad quite a bit. All right, Dad. We appreciate you.
But speaking of barbecue, before we change the subject again,
yes,
there's one more barbecue restaurant I would like to give high honor to. Only I think, they do have good barbecue, but their name is what really sold me and got me to go into the door the very first time.
And that would be?
It's in Lakeland, Florida, and the name is Barbecue.
Barbecue. Well, that's of course because someone on this podcast who's not speaking at the moment used to use Bubba as one of his air names, didn't he?
Yes, Bubba James loves barbecue.
In fact, if I look on the wall behind you, doesn't it say Bubba's Place behind you?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Okay, there you go. So Bubba James, yes, was one of your personas on the radio. There you go.
So yes,
barbecues. I'll remember that next time if I should ever see one.
Now, my son was born on August the 1st, by the way.
Okay.
Welcome to August, because we are in August.
Yes.
More new babies are born in August than any other month.
All right. So that begs the question, of course, what happened 9 months previous? So that would be what? That would be November? Yeah. November. And then 9 months later is August.
Maybe because of the cold weather. Now it's the second biggest month for babies being born is July. So that's that little window when it's nice and cold and everybody needs to snuggle.
But it's not like
gets a little too snuggled.
But it's not like December, January. You would think if I'm in Cleveland in December, there's nothing else to do. So so you're talking November, October, November, change of seasons, fall leaves are in the air or what, I don't know. Thanksgiving time. Maybe it's Thanksgiving time and people are giving thanks in their own personal way. Okay.
But I thought that was kind of interesting that
really more births in August.
More births in August than any other month.
Which is kind of weird because other than your son, I don't really know a lot of people I don't know that I know anybody else born in, not that I keep huge track of birthdays, but in my family, most of the birthdays were like January, February, which was weird. But
Now, my father was born in August.
Okay.
And, like you, I probably know many people that were born in August, but do I know their birth dates? No, I do not.
No. But see, like looking back on my family and back back to married days, back when, whatever, me, Bill, his ex-wife, his father, and his brother were all born within 2 weeks of each other at the end of January, early February. So we had like 4 birthdays, all right there. And then my mother, her birthday was in June. So she,
now,
a different one. Go figure.
Not that anyone would be interested in this, but I was from a small town in Indiana, Maderryville, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Population probably 12. I don't know. It's probably more than that.
Right. We know.
Not much more than that. It's
No.
It's basically a farming community, and there's all little itty bitty towns. But we did consolidate with Francisville to make West Central. But even when it was just Maderryville, and I went to Cass Center grade school, I will always remember Phyllis Williams. We had our birthdays on the very same day.
Oh, wow.
Same year, same day. Phyllis and I had the same birthday.
Wow. I wonder what happened to Phyllis. She's probably still milking cows somewhere.
Yeah, so. I don't know what she's doing these days. I've actually, because on Facebook you can find people once in a while.
Sometimes.
I've tried to kind of find her.
Yeah.
Thinking, hey, maybe I'll wish her a happy birthday or something, but I've never been able to find. Not that we dated or it was just the birthday thing was always.
Right.
Because, hey, happy birthday. Hey, that was kind of like, our thing probably from first grade all the way through junior high. And I think when we got in high school, we kind of,
wow.
We did.
So, I mean, at least you knew each other and you kind of stayed in touch, at least to say happy birthday to each other on the same day. That's cool.
And I'm just thinking when we got into high school, and that's the way high school is, unfortunately, and it's still that way today. You have your high school circle.
Oh, of course.
I don't think she was in my high school circle.
Honestly, I don't think any girls were in my high school circle because I was a geek and a nerd.
Now, see, I was not, I don't know how to say this.
Oh, try.
I'm just going to come out and say it. In my younger years.
Yes.
And I think it was probably because, no one's there. Someone just walked by that's working on the lawn. My wife had to run to the door because the alarm went off that said someone was near our door. But that's why I thought it was the air conditioning people.
Right.
But because I was sickly, I believe was kind of the reason. Maybe not, because I wasn't a real sports-minded child in grade school, junior high even.
Mm-hmm.
I hung out, which is a good thing, and I wish I would have known what I know now when I was that age. But I hung out mostly with girls. Nice. My wife laughs at that as she hears me.
I didn't have the guts to laugh at it because I didn't know the story, but okay, I get it. You hung out with a lot of ladies because that's what? Because it was easier.
When the boys were out
because they took pity on you. Oh, they were out doing sports.
Yeah, when the boys were out playing on the playground and swinging on the monkey bars and doing manly boy things on the playground.
Right.
I should go see the Barbie movie because I was probably playing with Barbie and Ken at the time.
Okay.
With my little girlfriends at recess instead of out on the monkey bars and things like that.
Okay. And apparently it didn't scar you too badly because here you are, just a regular guy at this point, and married and grandkids and all that sort of thing. So all good. Didn't turn out too bad for you. That's interesting.
Yeah. It seems like, back in those days, especially first, second, third grade, girls.
Yeah.
I was the guy that hung out with the girls, and the boys hung out with the boys, and the girls hang out with the girls. And I was always with the girls.
They took pity on you.
That must
they
have been
brought
it.
you
They
in.
adopted me in. They brought me
adopted
into
you
their
in.
circle.
Yeah. So nowadays we would, well, I don't know if we would or not. I mean, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too much, but if the young boy were hanging around with the girls too much nowadays, would we make some perhaps inappropriate assumptions about his sexual preferences or something like that?
Well, I was going to say, but I thought I would leave it alone. I was going to say, yes, I grew up being, straight and heterosexual with no gay tendencies whatsoever. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No,
I'll go on record, nothing whatsoever wrong with it. I support you 100%.
Right.
But,
you do your thing. That's fine. I agree with you 100%. You do your thing. That's cool. I'm good with that.
But I guess I can say,
right, I
like girls at a very young age where most boys didn't.
There you go. That's a good way to say it. That's you just knew what worked for you at that age. That's good. Yeah, in my elementary school and early high school years, girls were still a mystery to me, like probably a lot of guys, but that's fine. I got over it. I got past it. It's okay.
Oh, as I got older, they became a mystery. But when I was in first and second grade, I was one of them.
Oh, well, sure. Well, you're that age. Well, because I mean, and again, I might be stepping on some toes here. And again, you do you, whatever it is. But at first or second grade, you don't see, as when you're that age, when you are that age, I'm not talking about us old people looking at kids. When you are that age, you don't see a whole lot of difference. You just see another kid, another child, whatever. I mean, I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've been a long time since I've been in first grade. Just saying.
But now we got that all out.
I think we've beaten that into the ground just enough. That's fine. Yeah, that's okay. We don't want to get in trouble here.
I don't want to bum anybody out since we're bumming people out here. I don't even know who cares. It's not me, but in case you do care, Pop-Tart cinnamon roll is being discontinued.
I think I saw that somewhere. Pop-Tart cinnamon. And is that a big deal? Because the last time I had a Pop-Tart, I was probably in first or second grade, to kind of tie those two stories together. I can't remember. So that's not really, it's not really food, is it? It's not really food.
I hate to say this.
Uh-oh.
And maybe this is why I have type 2 diabetes. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
But, even when I was doing morning radio, you don't really have time to have bacon and eggs and things like that.
No.
Maybe if you get lucky, you can go. Well, nowadays you can, but back then I don't even think McDonald's was open until 6:00.
No.
And we were at the radio station by, 5 a.m. at least.
I remember the occasional morning where you would drive through and they were open early for some reason, and you would occasionally bring something in for us. Yeah. And that was fabulous when it happened, but it was rare. So anyway, yeah, you're right. In morning radio, you didn't eat well. Let's put it that way. First thing.
Yeah, I probably ate a lot of Pop-Tarts in my morning radio days for breakfast.
Really?
When there was not pizza left over from the weekend of the remotes. I never will forget this, and this is Bill's line, people. When we were doing morning radio and there would be a remote, and they would even, because we'd give away pizza at the remote, hey, come out to,
of course,
Bill's Car Wash, and, we'll have free pizza for everybody and,
right,
sodas and,
yeah.
So we would go to work on a Monday morning after, who knows, it could have been a Saturday remote. It could have been hell. It could have been a Friday night remote. We don't know. Or a Sunday remote. And there would be pizza in the break room, just a box of pizza sitting there. I'm not talking about refrigerated. I'm talking about a box of pizza. And I'd go, oh, we can't eat that. Bill would go, nuke it. If you can nuke it, you can eat it.
And the funny thing is, folks, he's so right. He is so right. And to this day, there is no such thing as leftover pizza. There's no left. It just hasn't been eaten yet. That's all. There's no leftovers. You're so right. You're so right. Doggone it. I'll own up to that.
Because I remember in the beginning, I would say, we can't eat this. It's been left out. And this was Bill's line. I swear to God, if you can nuke it, you can eat it.
Well, of course, the radiation from the microwave kills all the bad things on the pizza and just warms it back up again. That's my story, and I stuck to it. Don't judge me, people. Don't judge me.
Well, let's just say this. BJ and Bill had a lot of leftover pizza, and I don't ever remember us getting food poisoning after any of our morning pizza eating.
No. Have you ever seen that? It's not an experiment, but somebody did that once where they took like a McDonald's hamburger and they left it on the counter for like a year, and it didn't change. It didn't break down. It didn't get spoiled. Whatever is in there is so powerful that damn thing is still, I'm not going to say it's edible, but it's not bad. It doesn't look like it's going to waste. It just sits there. It's like Stonehenge. It'll be there in 1,000 years. So yes, I think pizza is probably similar in that it uses ingredients and things that are probably a little bit, shall we say, highly preserved. I'm just saying. So anyway.
All right, Bill, I'm just going to tell you something right now.
Oh, what's that?
Because, I've told you that I get the COVID shot. I
Yes.
get the flu shot. And
You get all the shots.
You go, why would you want to put anything like that in your body? Well, why would anyone ever want to put leftover? Next time you need a COVID shot, instead of worrying about it, say, can you put it in the microwave first before you shoot it into my face?
Well, we can have quite the discussion about all the shots you can get and all of that, because I'm thinking for me, now again, this is Bill talking. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. This is not medical advice, right? You always have to give the disclaimer, right? But I've eaten so much, I'm not going to say healthy food. I'm going to, and not garbage, but I've eaten such a variety of stuff. Probably some of it not the best for me. Probably some of it with some germs or some bad stuff in it. And my body has successfully worked its way through all of it over the years that I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I just don't need the shot. I thank you. I'll fight that off myself if I have to. So anyway, and that's what I've done, and I'm fine. It works for me. Does it work for everybody? No, but it worked for me. That's all I'm saying.
Well, my story has always been too, when people, when they get into that conflict,
Shot, no
COVID shot.
Yeah.
I've been alive. I never got the flu shot though until a year before I got my transplant.
Wow.
But I have been alive for, as Bill can contest, and anyone that knows me, for over 20 years.
Yep.
Because of doctors at Tampa General Hospital. When doctors at Tampa General Hospital tell me you need the COVID shot, I listen. It's kind of like when E.F. Hutton or whatever talks.
Right.
Everybody listens.
Right.
When my Tampa Bay doctors, my transplant team talks, I listen.
I understand. Here's, to me, and I get it. At the time, that was important, and that's what they thought was best for you. My question would be, today, and as we record this, August 15th, 2023, if you were to go to your transplant team, to your doctor, to whoever it is that told you that was the thing to do back, because it's probably been 3 years, right? 2-3 years since you had the shot? Or are you? No?
I had one
a booster?
March or April. No,
really?
April of this last year.
Wow. Okay. Well, my question remains. I would still be curious to go back to go to your team, to go to your doctor, and say, knowing everything that you know now about that shot, would you still tell BJ, yes, get the shot?
I will ask them.
I guess their answer is yes.
They say in the next few months,
right?
Then the next booster will be available.
And you'll get it.
If that's what Tampa tells me to, yes. I've gotten the flu shot every year for the last 21 years.
A flu shot has been in circulation. Flu shots have been around for 50 years, maybe more. I probably got one when I was a kid or something. I don't remember. Oh my God, we're just opening so many cans of worms today. It's ridiculous. This is different to me, to Bill. This series of shots, jabs, whatever you want to call it, it's different. And I mean, if you told me that I would turn into the zombie apocalypse without it, I still might say I'll take my chances. I can't. I just can't. And maybe I've gone too far down the rabbit hole. Maybe I've watched too many QAnon videos. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't. Don't judge me.
Well, depending now when it comes available, the next booster, comes available, right. And it will be different than the past, I've been told. It should be available in the next month or two, because I was told that also.
Mm-hmm.
So I will reach out to my Tampa team, and I will say, should I get the COVID booster? And if they say
right.
yes, I will happily go in and get, as they say, the jab.
Right.
They say, no, you've had 3 now. I don't, then I will tell you, I will do what they tell me to do.
I understand.
Again, and I say that because without their guidance, I would have not survived the last 20 years.
I get it.
There'd be no
I understand
Bill the podcast.
Would have just been Bill the podcast, and it would have been no fun. No fun. Nobody would have listened. Nobody. So I respect your respect of your medical team. I mean, that's their job, right? That's complete and total job. I'm not sure. Well, whatever. I'm not in your position. That's all I can say. This is just like the gay versus not gay thing. This is just like the whatever. You do what works for you, and I respect that. That's all I can say. And I hope and trust that's all good
with everything.
Everybody should be that way with everything. Everyone, period, should be this way, period, with everything, period, and everyone, period. Sorry, but we only got 5 minutes left in the show, and I could go off on that for an hour. Maybe that'll be next week. That just, folks, if it's not affecting your life, just let it slide. Just let it be. Now I understand there's a lot of gray area with that, but it's affecting the kids, or it's affecting the school system, or it's affecting the healthcare system, or whatever. All right. Then we got to have a discussion about that. But if my neighbor wants to, it doesn't matter to me. It's just not important. It shouldn't be important to the world what people do with their own time and their own whatever. Right?
Right. So I am happy with you not getting stuck. I am happy with me getting stuck.
Perfect. I am happy with my friends that choose to be vegan. Sorry, it's not for me. I'm going to eat my steaks often.
I don't know how many times I've tried to go vegan or vegan.
Vegan. Sorry. Yeah, I messed that up. Vegan. I tried it once. It can work somewhat, but, and again, this is another something I could go off on for an hour. It seems like if you're really, really going to be vegan, you can't, your body, you're still taking some supplements. You still have to take supplements because your body can't make everything out of those plants that you're eating that it needs to thrive, that it needs to stay strong. Sorry, it just can't. There's not the proper stuff in those plants. Now, if I feed those plants to a cow and the cow turns them into juicy ribeyes, so much better. In my opinion. Am I right? Who the hell knows?
I can't remember the old joke now. It's something about, I don't know. I can't even remember, so I'm not going to try. Something about, vegans and cows eating all your food.
Right. Well, and I've seen that on Facebook that said, hey, vegans, this, and it points to a steak. This cow was eating your vegetables, so I ate him. You're welcome.
Some people now, I don't want to go down, like I said, we're not going down the rabbit hole today, but some people don't eat meat because they don't, they're in the belief, which if that's their belief, that's good too, but they don't want to. You're still going to kill a plant if you're going to eat it.
Oh yeah.
You're going to chop down the plant before you eat it, but they don't want to kill anything too.
Right, which is the biggest lie ever. And again, not to go down the rabbit hole, but if you're eating your vegetable crop how many billions of animals, and the vast majority of them are insects. Okay, but you're still killing them because you're pesticiding, you're carpet bombing your vegetable field with pesticides that is killing everything in that soil, and you're worried about a cow. I get it. I understand, but
some people have to spend the extra $10 a pound to get the organic vegetables.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but you're still doing something. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't think organic vegetables are made without any kind of, killing of other critters, because you have to clear the field and to keep it clean and to keep it bug free and all of that stuff. Just because you're not using a chemical pesticide, maybe you're using something else. I don't know. Boy, oh man, how many? Again, we're opening more worm cans here. We need to stop.
At least we didn't open any cans of whoop ass though today.
No, we didn't open any cans of whoop ass. That's a good. Who was that? I forget. Who said that?
I don't know where that first came from. It's been around as long as I can remember. I'm gonna open me a can of whoop ass.
I thought that was one of your wrestling boys who originated that, but it was before that.
I think so. I like now though, you can go into novelty stores and actually get cans, and it's got whoop ass.
Cans of whoop ass, yeah. Yeah. I'm all right. So can of whoop ass origin. Yes, I had to Google it, folks. Just one last thing. I had to do it. All right. So let's see if I can find out really quick here. Would somebody let me know opening a can of whoop ass? It's a figurative saying sometimes used to mean somebody is about to unleash their wrath or put their anger in motion. Yeah, I get it, but it doesn't say where it came from. All right. Origin. The exact opening is heavily disputed. Most online resources disagree about when the term might have been used, although it began to spread through the internet in the early 1990s. Wow. Okay. That's just too yet another rabbit hole. We are opening more we're chasing more rabbit holes, opening more cans of worms, and the occasional can of whoop ass, all right here on the show today. Been a good show. This number 50, been a good show.
Hey, when you get to be 50, you can have good shows.
Who knows what'll happen when we get to 52. So,
just
there
think,
you go.
Before we get to my age, we'll get to your age. And then we'll get a few years after that, we'll get to my age.
Right.
When we get to those shows.
That's true. We got a little while to go.
Not much. That's like 15 or 16 shows for you.
Right.
It's only like 18 shows for me.
Will it be 15? Will it be my birthday? No, my birthday will not have come by then. So
mine comes in May.
Right. Mine comes in January, but it's the end of January. So yeah, I was thinking because if we got to my birthday, we might have to go one more week to get to the next year's show. But no, show number 66 will happen this year sometime. And that will be, of course, my age. So we'll go with that. And then BJ's age, when BJ gets to be 95, we'll be doing that show too. So
boy, wouldn't that be a miracle?
Your lips to God's ears, as they
We're already
say.
a miracle. Can we be a 95-year-old? Can we be the 100-year miracle?
Let's find out. That's all I can say. We got 1 year. We've only got 30 or 40 more years of shows to go. I don't think I want to be sitting here in 40 years. But
I'll tell you what. This is BJ and Bill, the podcast. Episode number 4,572. Bill, did you take your Maalox today?
Did you take your all right. So you're right. So wait a minute. So that would, how many? So if I'm, wait a minute, you're 68.
Yes.
32 years to you're 100. Alexa, how many weeks in 32 years?
32 years is 1,669 weeks.
1,000. So that plus the 50 we've already done. So about 1,100 shows. About 1,100 shows. You ready for that?
Yeah. Here we go. All right, we're going to fast forward, everybody. Here we go. Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast. This is episode 1,142. Bill, did you have sex while playing pickleball today?
What? Huh? What? 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 Did I have what?
I told you to wake up. We're doing a podcast, Bill. How many times do I have to tell you? It's time to do the podcast. And here, all right.
Damn it, I'm here. Damn it. What do you want? I'm here.
I have to go to the bathroom right now. So can we hold off on the podcast for another 15 minutes?
This is making the show notes. Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen. You have a good week, everybody. And don't go down too many rabbit holes. We'll leave that to us. We'll be fine, right? There you go. All right, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, it's just us to BJ Odom to say.
See ya.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.